UK is building new large vessels will be the second largest after Royal Navy's super carriers. In November 2022 it was announced that Team Resolute BMT, Harland and Wolff Navantia had been selected to build the ships with the start of construction anticipated in 2025. The manufacturing contract, with a value of £1.6 billion, was signed in January 2023. The new ships will be an integral part of a carrier strike group. At 40,000 tons and 216 meters long, they will be second only to HMS Queen Elizabeth and Prince of Wales in length and displacement, more than 34 meters wide, with a capacity for 9,000 square meters of stores that's almost the size of a football pitch. The National Shipbuilding Strategy released in September 2017 stipulated that the design and construction of these ships would be subject to an international competition pitting UK firms against those overseas in order to encourage competitiveness. Classified as non-warships, the vessels were required to be tendered internationally as per Article 346 of the Treaty on the Functioning of the European Union. This received opposition from political parties, including Labour and the Scottish National Party, as well as trade unions, such as GMB and the Confederation of Shipbuilding and Engineering Unions, who criticised the potential loss of work for British shipyards. They recommended that the ships be reclassified as warships and therefore exempt from the treaty, allowing them to be built in British shipyards. Sir John Parker, whose recommendations formed the basis for the National Shipbuilding Strategy, also criticised the government's approach as not the right strategic approach and recommended that UK-only competition should be considered for future defence-funded vessels. In 2018, a contract notice was placed for 2 solid support ships, with a probable option of a third later. The ships required a total cargo capacity of up to 7,000 cubic meters, the ability to travel at a sustained speed of 18 knots 33 km per hour 21 miles per hour without resupply, the capability of delivering non-bulk logistic material whilst underway at 12 knots 22 km per hour 14 miles per hour and transfer single loads of up to 5 tons 4.9 long tons 5.5 short tons. A list of bidders was subsequently selected with a British consortium consisting of Babcock, BAE Systems, Camel Laird and Rolls-Royce, as well as international bidders consisting of Fincantieri Italy, Navantia Spain, Japan Marine United Corporation and Daewoo Shipbuilding and Marine Engineering DSME South Korea. Fincantieri and DSME later withdrew from the bid, however Fincantieri later rejoined. On November 5, 2019, the competition was suspended to ensure requirements could be met and a value for money solution found, which raised hope from trade unions that the competition could be restarted and involve only UK shipyards. On September 21, 2020, Defence Secretary Ben Wallace stated the vessels were warships, effectively confirming they would be built in the United Kingdom. On October 21, 2020, it was announced that the competition for the fleet's solid support ship will be restarted in spring 2021, covering 3 ships, and it will be an international competition, but the team must be led by a British company. In May 2021, the competition to build the ships was relaunched with the aim of taking a decision within 2 years. In July 2022, Rear Admiral Paul Marshall, the senior responsible officer for the fleet's solid support ship project, told the House of Commons Select Defence Committee that the first ship was envisaged for service entry in 2028 with the third entering service by 2032. In November 2022 it was announced that Team Resolute BMT, Harland and Wolff Navantia had been selected to build the ships with the start of construction anticipated in 2025. The manufacturing contract, with a value of £1.6 billion, was signed in January 2023. The trio as yet unnamed are being constructed by the Team Resolute consortium comprising Navantia UK, Harland and Wolff BMT, which was selected back in January by the UK Ministry of Defence. The final assembly of all 3 ships will be completed at Harland and Wolff, famous for building the Titanic and her sisters and, more during World War II and afterwards, a host of Royal Navy vessels from Flower-class corvettes through to carrier HMS Eagle. Blocks and modules for each vessel will be constructed in Belfast, plus Appledore in Devon, and Navantia's yard in Cádiz, Spain. Winning the contract unlocked £77 million of investment in Harland and Wolff in preparation for constructing the 3 ships, notably upgrading to the very latest equipment and technologies and expanding the facilities by 5,000 square meters enhancements which will serve the yard, long after the solid support ships have sailed. Work has begun revamping the world-famous Harland and Wolff yard in Belfast so it can build 3 new support ships for the Navy. The existing fabrication halls at the shipbuilders are being significantly enhanced to support construction of the successors to Royal Fleet Auxiliary Fort Victoria. Harland and Wolff has the potential to become increasingly pivotal to the future of the Royal Navy with its extensive facilities and its key role in the construction of the fleet's solid support ships. Leader of the House of Commons in Portsmouth North MP Penny Mordaunt symbolically got work underway on the expanded facilities by cutting the first turf. At the peak of construction work, Harland and Wolff alone are expected to employ 1,200 personnel across various sites, with an expected additional 800 people involved in the UK supply chain. A fleet solid support ship is a type of Royal Fleet Auxiliary RFA ship designed to supply solids otherwise known as dry stores, such as ammunition, explosives and food, to Royal Navy ships at sea. The term can also refer to the program to replace the RFA's existing solid support ships, the Fleet Solid Support Ship Program. As of 2021, the former Fort Rosalie-class replenishment ships Fort Austin and Fort Rosalie have been retired. Only Fort Victoria has undergone refit to enable her to supply the Royal Navy's new Queen Elizabeth-class aircraft carriers with solid stores. With incompatible rigs, Fort Rosalie and Fort Austin were placed in extended readiness and were later sold to Egypt. A program to replace these ships, named the Military Afloat Reach and Sustainability MARS Fleet Solid Support FSS, commenced in 2017, but was delayed in 2019. In May 2021, the competition was restarted to select a design within 2 years. In November 2022 it was announced that Team Resolute BMT, Harland and Wolff Navantia had been selected to build the ships with the start of construction anticipated in 2025. The manufacturing contract, with a value of £1.6 billion, was signed in January 2023. At 40,000 tons and 216 meters long, they will be second only to HMS Queen Elizabeth and Prince of Wales in length and displacement, more than 34 meters wide, with a capacity for 9,000 square meters of stores that's almost the size of a football pitch. The new ships will be an integral part of a carrier strike group.